Hi, Mukund. Welcome to Innovate QA podcast. It's so nice to have you here with us today.
Good morning. Thanks, Tatyana, for inviting me for this session. Thank you.
Uh, so, for our audience, Mukund is a Chief Operating Officer of ContextQA, and I wanted to have a conversation with him today on what ContextQA is up to and the future of quality and how do we use AI in test automation nowadays. So, let's jump in, Mukund, and let's start before you joined Context QA and before we talk about it. What was your journey? What led you to Context QA?
Yeah. So I have a 2 decade plus experience in software industry, and I'm that kind of an old school guy who started computers, learning computers when it was a black and white screen. But I've seen all the journey, okay, and all ups and downs into the software, and especially from a testing, right? So I was working as a vice president engineering for services organizations, and prior to that, I spent almost 12 years into a product company. So this amalgamation of a learning product development life cycle and a services industry, and then both from the quality engineering side, it was very exciting. Joining Context QA was a really overwhelming for me because when I look at the product features, it was awesome. So in my last 2.5 decades of journey, I've not seen a product which is so futuristic. That was the very encouraging moment for me to get into the Context QA.
That's super exciting. And I can't wait to talk about all of the features that Context QA is bringing and how it's going to make our life easier as a quality professionals. Um, so, can you tell us what are you trying to solve with Context QA? What are the problems you're trying to help?
So the problem was simple, but it's very painful, right? So QA is always struggling to maintain the pace of development. And especially when it comes to the modernizing the software, a development has grown rapidly and adopted a lot modern tool to to get the time to market. But the bottleneck is quality engineering, and we always ending up into either skipping some portion of the testing, or it is a defectful product going into the market. That was a really painful for an industry. uh, we built Context QA to solve exactly that. It's modern, it's AI powered testing platform that just doesn't execute the test, but it create, it design, it heal, and it optimize everything automatically. So that the QA can match the pace of a development, which is eventually reducing your market that you will be losing because of the late release, or even losing a confidence with customer because of the defectful product. Context QA is bring that pace of development to a testing.
That's amazing. That's always been a problem for us, right? How do we ship frequently with high confidence? So having a high confidence releases and keeping pace with the product management and development, with all of the requirements of shipping tomorrow, um,
Yeah.
that's great that you're working on this problem. Now there's a lot of AI powered tools out there nowadays. So what is unique about the context QA approach? Do you have something that differentiates you from different companies?
True, yeah, and so this space is crowded. Okay, but what I have observed in my career and in past, especially working with the services organization, see, most of the tool has been focusing on the one slice of QA. Okay, some are good into generation, some are good into the analytics, some are good into the like automating. What Context QA brought is then one holistic platform, okay, that AI will generate your test case, it will execute all across the mobile or web or API or even the complex software or a package tool like Salesforce, SAP, and any other of the ERP solutions. it has a capability of a self heal. Okay, when there is a some change happen at the development, it will have a self healing mechanism. Plus it identify defects early into the cycle. It has a seamless integration with all your the ALM platform like Jira's of the world or maybe TestRail, so you can have an integration. So imagine a situation that okay, today you have a user story, and you put the user story, the developer starts working on the user story, and at a back end the testing work has started. It started analyzing the test, creating the test case, generating it, automating it, and the your dream of an in-sprint automation can be really possible with context QA, and that is what the differentiating factor. We look at the progression testing and we look at the regression testing. So that's the differentiating factor over all other platforms that at least I have observed.
That's amazing. So you're basically trying to shift quality left inside is DLC, and you also have a lot of great features of testing on different platforms, different browsers, which gives you a advantage over other tools. That's great. And of course, like I want to hear the customer success stories. Do you have any to share with us? I know you guys are still early. Do you have any customer stories that you can share?
Yeah. So the good part is that okay, the context QA is breaking the boundaries of the traditional QA, right? So it, as you mentioned, that it will go left towards a developer, it go right towards the user insights, and we are gonna break those boundaries to go into the areas where the testing is required, but it is not adequately done in the past. So one of our logistic customer, okay, who was facing this kind of problem that okay, the inception of the defects is there from the code, and it was very difficult to measure it that okay, hey, where the defect comes in, right? Whether it is into the configuration or at the code level. When context QA got into the place, it has actually reduces its overall regression cycle from 5 days to less than 8 hours. Okay, that has given them a confidence that okay, hey, our releases can go faster to the customer with the confidence. So your total cost comes down by the 65 to 75% from the testing perspective. Now you have a the testers are more meaningfully engaged into a they're augmented with the business logic, they're augmented with uh, exploratory testing. So the all mundane thing that context QA has taken, that is a really success story into the logistic. Another customer where we gave them a complete user insight that how user is using your application and what is the gap between your available test asset versus you have how the user is using. That was a really eye opener for them, that has give them a complete coverage. So yeah, many, though you say that we are early, but we are fast in acquiring the customers. So many case studies into the various areas and various domain that okay, we could acquire in last few months.
That's amazing. And I love that you're talking about both shifting left and shifting right, right? Shifting right is so important, and bringing the customer insights and understanding what the customer is doing is a huge thing when we're trying to improve the test coverage, right? Understanding that we're not just testing it from the requirements perspective, but also from how the customer is using the product. That's amazing. Always love to hear customer success stories. What do you think is the biggest misconception about AI in testing today? Like why don't people start using this tool, left and right?
Okay, so especially when we talk about AI, there are misconception that okay, people do see AI is a magic wand and it will do everything together. Okay, so first, AI is not magic wand. AI, you need to adopt it in a right way. Um, Another misconception about that, okay, hey, if I bring in AI, I have to let go my testers. Okay, it's not the case. Your testers will not go away. They will get powered with AI to start doing uh, a more meaningful work. It will gonna, and they will become an orchestrator of a tester, right? Okay, they will create more customer facing things. They will do the activities which will gonna increase in your business potential, while the low hang or the low category of task will go to the machines, and the AI AI will take care of it. So there is no threat to the QA jobs. Okay, that is another misconception which I see. No, testers will not go away. They will get augment with the more AI power.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love that you mentioned that we're gonna improve the coverage and we're gonna improve what we have with the power of AI, and we're not gonna replace basically the people who are doing it, right? I'm hearing that from some of the other tools as well. You don't have to fire your testers, but you can do so much more with the testers that you have. I think that that's such an amazing point. Um, and the question becomes, how do you keep the balance between AI driven, testing and now human judgment? So how do you see that's working out?
Okay. So specifically, when you apply AI, or you introduce AI to your system, okay, system start learning every day. It started capturing the knowledge, okay, and it will get enriched and created its own knowledge base for the testing. While the humans will take care about and more decision making, orchestrating, organizing the things, okay, and obviously the vertical communication, vertical horizontal communication, that is the most biggest important activity for a testers, okay, while they're using the AI. So in a very short word, I would say uh, your manual QA will go and enrich their activities with more customer facing and understand the exploratory testing, bring the more business cases. So the AI will start learning and then start repeating the things with a more efficient way.
Great. So now let's talk about how the adoption of these tools is going to happen. And so, what is your advice to engineering leaders? We don't always have the quality leaders in the organization to drive adoption of these tools. A lot of times we have development, leaders in the organization who need to understand, okay, do I need this tool? And a lot of these leaders are working on adopting the code generation tools right now for the developers, right? So QA tools are not their first priority. So, what is your recommendation for the engineering leaders when it comes to the quality, test automation tools?
Right. I would say that, okay, let's run a POC. Okay, run a POC with a meaningful and covering the most aspect of their testing. Okay, adopt the tool. Okay, and then go for and see your savings. Okay, how much you will gonna save through the tool, and then go for a larger. So before boiling the ocean, you can test the water, see that, okay, how it is working into your system, do a POC, and get for the next level of adopting the context QA.
All right, so basically learn about the tool, right? And then schedule a demo with you, learn about the tool. And do you guys have a POC kind of program like trial or something that the engineering leaders could do?
Yes, we do have. Okay, we do have a learning platform. We do have an academy where people can learn, and our all POC programs are a guided POC program. So teams will gonna help them into learning, adopting the tool, and in case there are any issues to for the handling, we have a support team that can help into adopting the new concept of AI, as well as augment the tool into their own platforms.
Great. And my other question is about how do the engineering leaders understand the savings? So, how much is going to save them basically to use your tool?
Right. So basically, when it comes to the ROI calculation, okay, you have a three factors that needs to be considered for the return on investment. So the first is that, okay, what is the your current cost of a manual testing, right? Okay, and then when you automate it, okay, what is the cost of automation, right? So these are the, and when I say automation, the this automation is your descriptive programming automation using your own frameworks like Selenium or Playwright. So you need to consider that, and then AI adoption. So just to take a simple example that, okay, you have a 10 testers at the rate of, say, I'm taking the minimum rate of the $50 per hour, okay, and they are working for a 200 hours per release. Okay, now you have a 12 releases in a year, that will cost you nearly 1.2 million, okay, per year. That is your manual testing cost, right? Because then that, and there is no residual, right? Okay, you will, every time you have to do the same thing again and again. While when you convert that into the automation, your cost will go down up to 550K. Okay, our calculation says that, okay, when you adopt an AI tool, it is go till 200K, which is nearly a 5 times less than the your manual cost. So it's very cost effective, plus it's efficient, and then you can run it by 24 by 7, right? No one is going to stop you. So it's efficient, it's fast, it's reliable, okay, and it is almost saving your cost by 5 times.
You said 2 billion and it goes to 200. So isn't that like a 90% savings?
I would say 1.2 million to
Oh, okay.
200K. That,
Got it.
that,
Okay. So
that
yeah, so it's
yeah,
basically like 80% or something.
right.
Yeah.
So your no, basically manual is costly, right, as compared to the tool.
Yeah, yeah, and that's a big problem for a lot of companies. They're kind of concerned that investing in the automation is not gonna pay off, right? But if we could optimize the automation part, and if we could automate really quickly, right? Do you have an idea? Like, let's say the company has I don't know, 500 test cases, right? And they want to import it into ContextQA. How long does the tool take to automate that?
Okay, so if you already have a test cases that that can be adopted, I would say that a week's time, that, okay, we can get into the context QA, and a couple of weeks to execute those things to stabilize it, because we never know that, okay, what is the quality of the test cases is written. So we'll do the validation. If everything goes, I think 3 to 4 weeks of time is to stable the entire 500 test cases.
Wow, 4 weeks to automate 500 test cases. That's amazing. But then, if you want to create it from scratch, right? Let's say I'm going to leave this alone and I'm going to create my test coverage from scratch. Is that faster?
Um, yes, it will be the faster. Like, okay, so but what I'm saying that, okay, there are two things. One is that, okay, automating test case of the existing scripts and then writing from the scratch. Okay, the writing from the scratch is equally efficient as like automating it. You need to provide a right context, and once your context is ready, it will be equal as like generating the test case and automating the test cases.
But AI will help you generate the coverage, right? Like it will figure out what coverage to create, basically.
Right. The what Context QA help their customers in giving a more detailed insights how the coverage will look like. So we come up with a risk-based testing approach, where when you upload your test case, okay, it will going to categorize it based on your business importance and the frequency of usage. So the matrix will tell you that, okay, hey, the most frequently business scenario and most important business scenario will have a prioritization, and based on that you can lay out and your complete a plan for what to test, when to test, and why to test. So this will give you a insight that, okay, I will, what I want to do it for my the overall, and it will remove all your duplicates, it will all your ambiguous things, so you will have only meaningful suits available. And that's what the beauty of this tool is. It's not only just doing the AI and automation, but it also does an analytics of your own tool or your own assets. And based on that, it gives the right suggestion for your test manager and test directors that, hey, what you want to test with this new release.
That's amazing. And what I like about it is that it generates the coverage based on the customer behavior right away, right? So many times we generate the coverage based on the functional requirements, but it takes into consideration the customer behavior and it generates the coverage.
Right.
That's
So,
a
who the
huge
best
win.
tester into the SDLC life cycle is your end user, right? He's the best tester. He knows how the application they're using. Now, once you can get the insight of an end user, you will you will find that, okay, hey, how the end user are using it, and is there any gap between your test assets. If the gap is there, context QA identify that gap, create some test cases for that, and integrate into your regression suite. You and this is all no code, so you just need to click few buttons and it's get done.
That's powerful. So let's talk about the future now. Fast forward 5 years. What do you think? Can you make a guess what the quality industry looks like after context QA becomes, a norm and everyday use? So what did quality industry would look like?
See, I see a day when the quality will go at the, it will work as in backend, right? So, whatever you have been developed, the testing will happen real time. Okay, your code will get scanned, your test cases will get ready, you have adequate test data automatically generated. It will define a user scenario automatically, and it will execute it. It will, if there are defects been found, it will get fixed within a new MCP models, right? So the it will be a seamless releases, and I would say that, okay, a day is not that far where we see there will be a daily releases, okay, for the big features. So the testing will work in the background more efficiently, more AI operated, okay, and it will be a faster than what we have seen so far. Okay, it can be three times, four times faster than what we are experiencing now.
So basically, it's going to be a CI/CD kind of multiplied, even faster. Our CI/CD will get more efficient, right? Because we can turn around the test cases and the testing and regression testing faster.
Yes, yeah. So it is kind of an autonomous automation is the future.
Sounds amazing. And what's your vision for Context QA in that future?
Yeah. So context QA is a core of that. Okay, context QA will be a university of all quality engineering processes. So we would like to see ourselves as giving providing a solution for all current and future problem. We don't want to be sit on the existing conventional issues. The new challenges are still there, like, okay, the white programming. We have automated code generation, so we are building our own MCPs for automated testing, right? So you write in code, but we will help you into testing that. So in the entire journey, context QA will be a university of all quality engineering.
Sounds great. And so, what if you could give one piece of advice to every engineering leader about preparing for this future of AI powered QA? What would that be?
Don't wait. Don't wait. Adopt it now. And I would say we are already late into the cycle. Yeah, AI is, it's not coming. It's already there on the floor. So no wait. Start working on the AI. Adopt. Help means contact us. We'll help you into building POCs. Otherwise, you will left behind.
Amazing. Thank you, Mukund, for coming on Innovate QA podcast today. It was a pleasure chatting with you. Uh, Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate.